stands for Structured Query Language, and it is a standard language which is used for manipulating database or creating relational databases, that is RDBL. SQL is used by many database applications. Softwares are there which use SQL as standard query building language. Now you have a type of object in base that is known as query. You will be designing queries, but we also have a feature, a tool known as SQL, where we can write the command, we can write the SQL command, and we can access or extract data from the database. So we'll be saying exactly the same thing. So yesterday we saw one DDL command. As I said that SQL is divided into various different parts, and the most prominent ones are DDL and DML. So I would want you to write their full form. Data language, and DML stands for data manipulation, right? So when we talk about data definition language, it's all the commands related to defining data, like creating database, table, okay, altering table structure. So these kind of commands will be there in DDL, that is data definition language, and in data manipulation language it would be inserting data, creating data, data, and extracting data from data. So this is the difference between the two. We have two prominent languages. Apart from this, we also have transaction control language. We have other concurrency control language, also various types of various subparts of SQL. But mainly you have to study these two, that is DDL and, right. So here SQL is what? It is command based. But in softwares like Access, Base, and all, although they provide you a query building feature, but internally that query building feature uses everything is visual to you, everything is in the form of a graphical user interface to you, where you have to do some point and click operations and create or build the query. But in the background, what is working? So the software auto generates the SQL query whenever you are creating or building any query. Just like we had seen in macro, to record a macro, but in the background, the code of the macro is being generated automatically. Here also the same thing. And in this, we had studied the very important, the first thing, that is creating table. So creating table has the following structure, which is known as a syntax. Syntax is actually nothing but it is the rule or the format or the structure of a certain command. Okay. So the create table command goes like this: create table, and within angular brackets, whatever I type, that is user defined. That is, you are free to give your own name to whatever I have written within these angular. I field 1, data type 1, and we could have its size or length. Okay. Same way we will have field 2, data type 2, and its size. And likewise we can have n number of, that is field n, data type, and finally close the bracket. So this is your create table command, right? So in create table command, with the help of this, we can create a table by providing its complete structure, right? So let us see some examples of create table command. Like yesterday, we had already remember, we had already seen that one. We had already seen how to create the table name. So here also today we will be seeing how to create some other types of tables. Now create table student was, I had to create, the question was create a table student or table named student with the following fields. So here we had roll number, then S name, that is the student name, class, age. Okay, and I think one more thing we had taken, so I'm just going to display that once again. So name, four things we had taken over, that is roll number, S name, class, and age for these operations. Okay. So student table we had created, and we'll go to the edit menu and we will see what is there in it. And you can see all these are the fields, but we had not specified the primary key. So how to do that? So let us create an SQL for doing that. So I'm going to Tools, SQL, and just watch very carefully. It might not work. Okay, there could be some problems with this. It might not work in the first. Certain queries seem to give a problem. Okay, so we will leave them for the time being. Okay. There is some kind of an issue with the alter statement, so I will be solving that a little later, right? So what we are going to do is we will try to delete the table over here and we will create it once again. So for deleting the table, we use this command draw table table name, and the table name over here is student. Let us see whether it works. Yes, command is successfully executed. I will close this, I will save it, and I will close this database and I will open it again. So now I'm going to open it once again and check whether student has been removed. So you can see that it has been removed from here. Now let us type its SQL once again. Okay. So we'll go to SQL and we'll type here create table student, and within brackets I have changed the lines. Okay, you can always change the line for a better readability. So we have the first one, number, and I'm taking it as tiny int, and I'm also going to specify this as the primary key. So you can see that I have written primary key over here. S name we had taken varchar, and 20, or will take 30 as the maximum number of characters. Age, again tiny int, comma, and we are also taking another one, that is class, and here the class will be cat, for the class number and one for the section, and that will do it. And semicolon after that, and the command is successfully executed. But to see the effects of the command, we need to save it, and we need to close this database, and we need to open it once again. So here you can see student table is there. If I double click on it, it will open it for editing. Previously you might have noticed something. Previously you might have noticed something that when I was double clicking on student for entering data. Yes. Thank you for the feedback. Right. So earlier when I was double clicking on student, you might have seen that we were not getting this cursor over here or these blocks. Only the field names were there. The reason is, in case of LibreOffice and OpenOffice, this problem occurs. If you don't set any field as the primary key, then you will not be allowed to enter data into that table. So you need to go to the table design view and first set the primary key, and then only you will be allowed to enter data over here. Now entering data, we have created the table. Now we will try to use an SQL query to enter data into this table, right? So just watch it very carefully. Now for inserting data into the table, what do we use? Inserting data. So for inserting data, we use the following SQL. I would suggest that if you have a copy with you, please write it down. Insert, it has two formats. There are two formats. Number one is insert into table name, and there will be an opening bracket, and within this, actually these two round brackets are known as parentheses. Okay, I'll just write it here, parentheses. Okay, so you have to pronounce it like this. So within the parentheses, I'm going to provide the field list. Field 1, field 2, and field 3. Suppose you have a number of fields over here. Okay, and then you will be entering values. Values for each of the fields, like value 1, value 2, and value 3. So here, this particular insert statement is for that case where you don't want to insert data into all the fields. You want to insert data only in few fields. Like for example, suppose you are creating a student table, and in that student table, you have some additional columns like the stream allotted to the student, okay, and whether the student is a hosteler or not. So for these two type of fields, like the student seeks the admission, he has taken the admission, but till now some final level counseling is left, or he was a student in the waiting list. Because of some discrepancy with his marks or his documents, he was not able to, he was not allotted any particular stream. There was a, he wanted maths PCM stream, but he was getting commerce stream. This kind of a situation happens in real life, right? So for this reason, his stream was kept on pending. So the school management decided that, okay, let us give him the admission, but we will keep the stream allotment on hold for the time being. So the data entry operator needs to enter the data only regarding the personal details of the student, not the stream and not any other detail. Okay, so for this purpose, he needs to just enter the data in some select fields only. सारे फील्ड्स में डेटा एंटर ना करते हुए सिर्फ कुछ ही फील्ड्स में अगर आपको डेटा एंटर करना है, तो जिस फील्ड में आपको डेटा एंट्री करनी है, उस फील्ड का नाम आपको इस लिस्ट में देना पड़ेगा. Okay, so you have to specify the name of that field over here in this list, and then the values corresponding to each field in the second list. And remember, value 1 will be the value pertaining to field 1, value 2 will be the value pertaining to field 2, and value 3 will be for field 3 only, right? So please remember this one.
So this is the first way, and the second way and the most common way is insert into table name, values, and value list. That is any value you can give. Now any value means here please mark that value list is the list of values pertaining to all the fields in the order or in the sequence in which the fields were created within the table during table creation. So you can see that at the time of creating the table, the order in which we had inserted the fields, okay, the order in which we had created the fields, in that same order you have to provide the value list over here. So right now in this context we are going to use the second method first, right? That is inserting values for all the fields. You cannot leave out any one value pertaining to any one field, because this insert command will not work in that case, right? So here we are going to enter the values within the table. So how? We go to tools, we go to SQL. Let us first confirm the structure of the table student. So right click, go to edit, and here you can see the table structure. We have roll number, then S name, then age, and then class. Now student, one thing you should remember over here, okay, just a moment. I'm just going to take a screenshot of this part. Remember one thing over here students, roll number is of which type? It is of numeric type, okay. Student name is of which type? It is character, or we can say alphanumeric or textual type, okay, text. Age is again numeric, class is again text. That is alphanumeric, right? So you can perform your arithmetic calculations where only in the numeric field. So remember one thing, in the insert command, any alphanumeric text will be enclosed within single quote, single inverted comma, or we properly say it as single quotes when it comes to computing, okay. So all the alphanumeric text will be enclosed within single quotes. Numeric text, numeric data will never be enclosed within single quotes. So please remember. Now let us create one insert query. So I'll go to tools, SQL, insert into the name of the table. Table name has to be there. Okay, first let me join it with this. So let's see an example. Insert into table name. So table name is what? Student. Values. Now 4 values are supposed to be there. Roll number, S name, age, and class. Okay. So for roll number, I am entering 1. Okay. Second is S name, which is varchar, which is textual data. So that has to be enclosed within single quotes. Suppose I am entering this, Amit Raj. Third one is age. So 16 as the age. And the last one is class. So let me give the class as 9A. Now 9A is what? Textual. So it has to be enclosed within single quotes, semicolon. Okay. And this same thing we are going to type over here. So insert into student values. First is roll number. Second is name. Third is age. So 16. And the fourth one is the class. And close the brackets, and I'm going to execute the query. So you can see over here a message, one row is updated. Okay, that means one row is created, one record is created. So click on close, double click on student and let us see. So you can see the data over here. Roll number, name, age, and class, and the data is saved also. Now suppose I want to insert multiple records into this table. So what to do? I'll go to tools, SQL, and here I'm going to insert more records. Insert into student values, and let me create some more records over here. Now I want to insert more records. So what I'll do is I'm just going to put a comma after this, okay? And then I'm going to just go on typing the records within the parenthesis. At least 5 records should be there in my table. So I have just created 5 records and I'm clicking on execute. Okay, there is some problem with this, right? Okay, so this kind of a, actually this kind of a structure, it works in MySQL. Now SQL might also have a few differences, few subtle differences across platforms. So let us just try to just change it, and we will just change this SQL a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy this insert into student values and paste it multiple times and create separate insert table command. And to separate each of the commands, I have terminated each of the commands with a semicolon. Okay. So now I'm going to execute duplicate values for column roll number. Let us check what is exactly the content. Okay, so one record was already added, that is Ravi Prakash. So we are just going to do it again. Insert into student, and we will insert 3 more records over here. That's it, 3 records. And okay. Can you anybody tell me what is the error which is there in this insert statement? I am missing one significant thing. Something I am missing. If you check this carefully, you will find that I am missing the values keyword. So that is very important. The command has to be written properly with all its keywords intact. Okay, so please remember this. So that is the reason why I got this error. So let us execute, and now you can see command executed successfully. Let us check out whether it has worked. Yes, so you can now see that all 5 records have been added into the table. Okay, so all the 5 records have been added. So you can see that we did not use the table design view or the table data view to enter the data. We did all the operation using what? Using the SQL feature over here. There is an extra table here, so I'm going to just right click and delete it. So this is how you create a table and you insert records into the table. Now the next thing is to select the data, to extract data from the database. To extract data from database. And for that we use the select command. Please remember its syntax is written like this. Select column list column 1, column 2, etc. That is a list of columns you can provide over here without any bracket from table name, table 1. Now it can also accept more than one tables. So table 1, table 2 and so on, where condition. Right? So this is the syntax of select. And as an example, let us try to extract all the records from the student table. So my question is, display all students and their complete information. This is my first question. So what will be my SQL over here? Select asterisk from student. That is from the table. Select asterisk means selecting all the records. Please note it. Asterisk means select all field data, okay, from the table. Means instead of specifying the names of the columns one by one, you are simply specifying this asterisk over here, and this asterisk refers to all the field data. When you have to display all the field data, that is the complete record, then you will use asterisk. And if it is like only a few selective fields data you want to display, then we will specify the fields in the form of column 1, column 2 and so on. So we will see a lot of examples, so it will be clear to you. So select asterisk from student. So let us run this SQL first. So we'll go to tools, SQL, select asterisk from student and click on execute. Table not found. Okay, let me see what is the issue. Here it has taken the name of the student table is capital student. So I'm going to write it that way. And now you can see that the output is given to you over here. Okay, although base and access, these are not much suited for SQL related operations. If you really want to learn SQL, you should learn it in MySQL command line client, okay, which we have. So which we don't have in our syllabus. Actually it is there in class 12 syllabus, right? But for your level it is quite okay. So you can see that the complete data is being displayed over here. Now with the select state, so for using this SQL feature for select operation, you have to make sure that you check this box, show output of select statement. इस बॉक्स को चेक करना जरूरी है, otherwise you will not find the output. Okay, so output will be displayed only when you check this box. Now another question. Let me give you the screenshot of everything. Check your chat box. I'm giving you certain screenshots. Please note it down. Okay, there is some issue with my OpenNote software. Right, let's do the next one. Now my next question is display only student name from the table student. So what SQL will I write for that? Select Now name of the field which contains student table is S name from student. And okay, column not found, because when I double click on student, you will find that all the columns are in capital letters. Base automatically converts all the table names and the field names into capital letters, and we have to follow that same rule over here. So I'm writing select S name in capital from student. Student also in capital. And now again check this box, show output of select statements, execute, and you can see only the names of the students are being displayed over. Every time you open the SQL tool, you have to check this box. So this is how you select few columns from the table. Let me just write the question here. Display only student names. So for that the SQL is right. Next. All that I am posting here, please note it in your copy. Okay. Now I'm going to give you a question here. Display all student names along with their class. Only this information is there. That is only display the student name and their class. How will you do that? Can anybody tell me? Can you write the SQL for this? Take some time to think and give me your answer. You can also post your answers in the chat box. Look here. Select student name. Okay, so S name, comma, what was class? The field name for class was given as class only, and but I have specified this in capital letters. Okay, from student. That's all. Whichever field you want to display, just provide the field name along with comma, right? So I'm going to copy this thing, Control C, come back to my database, SQL, and paste it over here. Show output, execute. Table not found. Okay, the reason why it is giving me table not found error is because student has to be in capital letter. And now you can find that the student's name and the class is being displayed over here. Okay. And this is the SQL query for that. Is this clear to everyone? Did you understand? I'm giving you one more question. I want an answer from everyone. So you all will be typing the answer in the chat box, right? Now, what I want is display all student names along with their age. Do this. Type the SQL in the chat box and send me the answer. Please tell me if you send your answers.
Gets
One second. Yes, I got. Very good. Apurva. Apurva, there is a slight mistake. You will not be getting, you will not use a comma after select, and name, field name is wrong. Age is okay, but and both have to be in capital letters and a semicolon in the end. Please watch it carefully. Select S name, comma, age. Okay. From student. Name of the table and name of the fields have to be in capital. Please remember this, because this
Okay,
base
ma'am.
SQL works a bit differently from MySQL, right? These are few changes you need to make in that. Anyway, good attempt. Next, so I'm going to paste it over here and again execute, and now you can again see the result. Now name and ages are being displayed. Got it? Now next, suppose I am writing a query here. Display all student names whose age or who are older than 16 years. So now I'm giving a condition over here. I want to display only those student names who are older than 16 years. And see, although it has been specified display all student names, but in the condition they have specified who are older than 16 years, means there should be a way for the person to also see the age of the student. Okay, so as to figure out that yes, the output is correct. So we will write select S name, comma, age, because here what is in question, the age of the student is in question over here. So age from student, and here I am going to add a where clause, where condition. So what will be the condition over here? So this is the part where we have to type the condition. So what is the condition? Where age is greater than 16. So age greater than, now I'm going to copy this and come back here and paste it. Execute, and you can see only Neha is the one who is older than 16 years old. If I make change, suppose I make it as greater than 15 and execute, and you will see Amit Raj, Ravi Prakash, S. Velan and Neha. They all are greater than 16 years. If I say display only those students whose age, who are 16 years old. So age equal to 16. And you can see only 3 students are there who are exactly 16 years old. So all the relational operators you can use over here. Less than, greater than, less than, equal to, greater than, equal to, not equal to, and equal to operators. Right. Let us now change the table and let's see some other table. Okay. So let me go to the employee table now. And now over here, please make a note of the table structure. So I am sending you a screenshot of this table so that you keep the table structure in mind while solving the query, right? Did you all? Please take a look at the chat box, and I have already sent you the table structure, right? Now, what all things are there in this table? Employee code, employee name, department number, designation, and salary. So I'm going to take a screenshot and I'm going to paste it in the white. Please just wait. This is my table and I'm going to fix the table over here, right? Now, let us write some queries. Display only employee names. So what SQL will you write for this one? Please Write it in the chat box and send me. Display only employee names. हमें सिर्फ employee names show करना है and name of the table is employee. You can see it over here. I'm marking those points here. Name of the table is employee and it is in title case. E is capital, rest everything is small. And fields are over here. And you can see the field names also. They are also in a certain case emp code. E and C are capital. Here emp name E is capital. Here depteno D is capital, D is capital, S is capital. Please make a note of these. Okay. And then only you write your query. So what query will I write here? Only employee names are to be displayed. So SQL will be select emp name from employee. Okay. I'm going to run this. So I'm going to close this and let us run it there. I think there is one more. Tools, SQL. First check the show output, paste your SQL, and here you can see the names of all the employees are being displayed. Second one, which employees are or which employees have salary exceeding 30,000. So what will you write over here? Can you write the SQL query? Which employees have salary exceeding 30,000? It will be select. First is emp name, comma, salary. I have to specify the salary. Why? The thing is, question is what? Salary. तो भाई salary ही नहीं दिखेगा तो how will the person know that whether his salary is greater than 30,000 or not? So from employee where salary is greater than 30,000. Let me copy this and paste it here and execute. And you can see these are the employees Amit Raj, S. Velan and SR Das whose salary is greater than 30,000. And if I say salary should be greater than or equal to 30,000 means I will be using a greater than or equal to sign over here. Okay. Students, I hope you all understood SQL to some extent today.